What's going on with y'all, man? And what man's for the females? Today we have a video about manipulating time and space. This video is gonna be a pretty good one. I'm only really dropping this because I was on Instagram Live. Well, I went on my friend's Instagram Live after smoking inside of my temple and talking to Arcturians, right? And I actually said, like, I'm like, yo, I'm high as fuck talking to Arcturians, but I had to tap in with you, my boy. And then if y'all was on King Cash's live that day, today is 7/12, July 12th. So it was the night of July 11th. Granted, see, Patreon, y'all seeing this on the 12th. YouTube, you seeing this shit way fucking later. Because normally this would be a Patreon only video. YouTube's only getting this at some point because someone on the live did definitely ask. They're like, yo, teach me, bro. So hopefully, see, I didn't tell them to go to the YouTube, but someone else did. And because someone else did, I didn't really respond to them. Like, I was going to respond to them, but too many comments came through where it was like, it's just going to look weird. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, he took my sis advice and went to the YouTube so he could see this video. If he didn't, then hey, because of him, y'all seen it at some point. But Patreon, y'all getting this shit early, of course, because normally this be a Patreon only. But I ain't gonna cap. I wouldn't have even thought about making this video if the guy didn't say nothing. So I'm like, damn, I gotta give. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do. Yeah, because if it wasn't for him, it would be no Patreon or YouTube video. So I'm like, damn, I gotta. Even though I'm gonna show it to the Patreon, by giving it to y'all early. YouTube could get this shit probably like the 28th. I just said that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be. It gotta be the 28th or later. Facts, because today the 12th. Either way though, right? Let's get into this video, right? Patreon down below if you want to go check that shit out. I have coaching down below, readings down below, mad shit down below, Discord down below. It's saucy over there, nigga. Everything's saucy as fuck. Social media's down below. Everything, bro. Got the Thuda blockers on. What you know about a genie who be blocking out the Thudas? You don't know about that shit. I ain't gonna lie. So with that being said, right? You don't know. Look, y'all. Why he got shades on inside? You never blocked out a Thuder. You be having the bops. You be having the bops. You be having the bops not blocked out. I got the bops blocked out with the Thuder blockers. What you know about a genie who be blocking out the Thuders? Come on now. What you know about a genie who be dodging all the cougars? Stop playing. But when it comes to time and space, right? I was actually, you see, even though I told them very shortly that I was learning how to manipulate time and space, but nigga, really, that's what I learned more like the afternoon, evening time. At that period of time, at nighttime, they were more doing, they said a couple of things. They were doing, number one, they were showing me how much they love me through various things that I'm not going to talk about right now, but they were also touching my body in different ways to show me like how certain things inside myself work. So at first start with my pineal gland. Like I felt their finger go inside and move my like they were like touching my pineal gland. And here's what I learned from that, right? You see, I've read several texts where the crown chakra gets called the pituitary gland, but it's also the pineal gland, and then vice versa. Some people call the third eye the pineal, others say the pituitary. From my experience of what the fuck happened last night, the pineal is definitely the fucking crown, and the pituitary is the fucking third eye. Here's why I'm saying that shit. This actually deals with manipulating time and space, and it's crazy because like what they were doing with what they were doing with the whole finger pressing me and stuff like that, it actually built on the time and space lesson that I got previously, which I'm going to share inside this video. But I want to explain this part first because it's important to manipulating time and space. You see, the pineal gland, right, is your crown chakra. The crown chakra is what receives information and downloads shit and all that stuff, right? So also where you could leave at. You know what I'm saying, nigga? That's the pineal, bro. I said blow. That's the pineal, bro. Because when they were tapping it, they were like tapping it in different ways to open me up to different things, and they were showing me like, yeah, you can open up to this, to that, to that, to that. Then with the pituitary gland, that's the third eye. You see, with the third eye, right? The third eye will give you clear perception and it'll give you clear perception, the ability to discern between real and false, and the ability to literally control your reality. Dead ass. And listen, the pituitary gland gets called the master gland because it kind of like you could say controls the other glands. Like it releases hormones that activate the other glands. But if it wasn't for pituitary, the other shit wouldn't activate. So you know what I'm saying? Understand that it's like with your perception, right? You can start to control what chemicals you release, And then you could control how you feel and how you act and a whole bunch of other shit too. So I'm gonna show you how that links to manipulating time and space. Because when I was first being taught this shit, which wasn't at nighttime when I told them I was being taught the shit. I mean, I was being taught it at nighttime, but not as much as before. See, before I was in the temple and they pulled up because my temple has motherfucking hella portals type shit, and they pulled up. They're like, "Yo, we want to teach about time and space. You want the time lesson or the space lesson?" Now I picked the space lesson, and that's because before I did that, I was like, "Damn, nigga," because I was gonna get both, but I'm like, "Shit, I want the space one first." But I'm like, before I chose space, I'm like, damn, what's the time one? What's the space one? They said manipulate time or manipulate space. I'm like, okay, let me do space because I always fuck with time. I mean, I be fucking with space too. Don't get me fucked up. But with the way I portray myself, I would kind of be more known for time. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to the greater galaxy and the greater omniverse, if you know me, you know me. I'ma just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, let me fuck with the space shit. Cause I know that I got manipulated space too. Cause nigga, when you start fucking with time, you start fucking with space, and you start fucking with all the other dimensions too. You know what I'm saying? You start fucking with light, start fucking with straight willpower, intelligence, consciousness, my nigga. You start fucking with all the dimensions, my nigga. You can fuck with sound, gravity, all kinds of shit, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, right? When it came to space, they were telling me about my thoughts and how you could use your thoughts to control space. Now, I've talked about before about how thoughts are intimately linked with time because they are. The same way that space is intimately linked with time. Now, what I'm about to say, I'm gonna keep this shit real simple, but I need y'all to really meditate on this shit and peep how deep it gets, my nigga. You see, a space, right, is an area which things can manifest inside of, right? Now, once you have that area, you can now have time because time is the movement inside that area. Without the area, there's no movement, there's no time. But to make the area, right, to make the space, you need to have your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts create the space at first that could generate the further timeline. So when it came to space, right, you need to, when you have a higher level of intelligence, you could control space way more because you have more ideas about what space you want to manifest. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know you can manifest a big ass space that has like let's say you want a fucking big ass mansion, right? Everyone wants a fucking mansion, right? Okay, cool. If you don't know that you can manifest that though, it's gonna be hard to manifest that until you understand, oh, I can actually have that shit. So once you gain more intelligence and information, once you know more things, you can actually create more things, right? So in regards to space, right? Understand that with the universe is made up. The universe is made from planes 1 through 3: the physical, etheric, and the astral. You know what I'm saying? Now the astral, I call it the plane of imagery, because that is where the image of this reality actually is. You know, you can see this mouse, right? And it's physical, right? Before this mouse became physical, it was a non-physical image that condensed itself through the ether and then became matter. You see what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, right, you have your own astral space, aka your imagination. Whenever you see visual shit, that's the astral. Whether you're just creating imagery, whether you're seeing visions, whether you're dreaming, whether you see yourself leaving your body, that's all astral stuff. Whenever you see imagery, that's the astral. Okay, there's just different levels of it. Okay, so I'm saying that because when you have more information, right, you can imagine more shit. Your imagination, right, is composed from thoughts that turn into images. You know what I'm saying? And then they start to have an emotional component to them also, which is when it moves through the ether. You see? Because the ether is like, your emotions are simply just etheric energies. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when astral imagery moves through the ether, it's kind of like your imagination turning into feelings, which is we start getting more of the time aspects at. But back to space, right? They were talking about you need to have the idea of the space you want to manifest inside your mind at all times. But here's the thing though. People think about what they want currently, like right now. Like, for example, someone like, oh, I want let's say someone wants to get a new job. They're only thinking, oh, I want a new job right now. But it's like, you got to stop doing that shit. You got to consider your end goal of life, my nigga. Like, I kept on having end goal. Then they're like, nigga, what's next? I'm like, fuck, you're right. What's next? Fuck your nigga. At the end, wanna know what the fuck the end was? Nigga, source. going back to source. But it's like, here's my thing, right? Because I've already been back to source, then came back down, went back to source. Like I had my mans ask me when this whole Earth mission is done, where am I gonna chill at next? And I said, bro, I don't think I'm gonna be at a place, bro. I'm gonna be with inside the ethers of space, connecting back to source. Then when I feel like coming back out, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna help some people again. I'm gonna go where the shit's fucked up at. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like Aldebaran, and I was like, nah, it's too soft over there. And he was like, nah, I feel you, bro, cause he like my boy Cash me. He said he calls me his gangster friend and stuff like that. Not like I'm like a literal gangster inside this life. You know what I'm saying? But like it's just like the way I be like. I just don't like that soft shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I always call him the nice twin. You know what I'm saying? Like when I talk to my friends, like, oh, yeah. When I talk to my friends, I'm like, yeah, he's the nice, he's the nice twin. You know what I'm saying? That's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm more like but we could still be as fuck, and we could both be nice. It's just that you know how shit is with us, you know. So with that being said, right? I was like, Aldebaran, nah, it's too soft over there. Now, if they need some help over there, I'll go over there and I'll help them niggas out. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when it comes to like just like having fun and chilling and stuff like that, like that's cool, but it's like, nigga, I be on mission type shit. That's why I gotta block out the thooters. I'm not here for thoots. Y'all niggas be trying, like y'all gonna hear this video and think, oh, let me use time and space to manifest some thooters. That's niggas' problem. That's niggas' problem. So when it came to me and the end goal being source, right? In order for me to fully get back to source and never come back again, everything in the omniverse gotta be copacetic, my nigga. So I started really thinking about all that shit. And it's like with the crown aspect, right? When they started tapping my pineal and opening up my crown, I was opening up to more information. Therefore, I could perceive and interpret different spaces, right? Right? Now the thing is, right? Once you have the image inside your head of the end goal, you start naturally moving towards that end goal and manifesting that space. In fact, you already actually live inside that space. Whatever you hold inside your mind, that's where you're living. Like when niggas be fucked up inside their head, you in a fucked up space right now, and you're about to make a fucked up time. And understand that the time part is when shit starts getting real physical for real. Because understand that with all that space shit, right? With the thought shit, right? That thought shit is 4D, 5D shit. Understand, you can change your thoughts all the fucking time, which is why 3D, 4D, 5D, that's the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? So you have the image and the thoughts and then the abstract thoughts. And it's like, or the beliefs that make the thoughts, the abstract beliefs that make the thoughts. You could say it like that, right? And with the multiverse, it's different possibilities. So whenever you have I want this, I want that, you're just hopping through different timelines and different spaces. You got to solidify one. So with the thoughts, you can start tapping into a whole bunch of shit, but then you grab onto one image, then you hold that image on some astral shit inside your mind on some imagery. So you like the more you can actually see this shit, the more you dead ass make the space. But to even start seeing shit and make the space, you need to have the motherfucking ideas of what space to motherfucking make. You see what I'm saying? And I actually was given a visualization exercise. So here's what it was. I had to like see a piece of paper and then draw a dot in the middle and then a circle around it. And that shit's hard as fuck for me. But the way that I was able to do it, I had to like, it's like I have to fucking hold on the dot and then kind of draw around it like that. It's really weird. But I've learned that when I started like moving, like when I started like doing that, like it's like I focused on the dot in the middle and then drew around from there. Like I wouldn't try to like sit back, draw a circle, then draw a dot. And it's because it's like when I try to do that shit in my mind's eye, I try to draw the circle. But it's like I'm making the dot and then the dots just move like a fucking spiral and it's blowing my shit. But like when I like make the dot, then focus on that center and just like move around my focus, it's easier. So I include that because for some of y'all, right? I don't know how to explain that, but pretty much I've noticed that it's easier to visualize and to get visual experiences because after that, like nigga, I was in the astral last night. My shit like be vivid for the most part whenever I go to sleep a certain kind of way. But nigga, my shit was going dummy last night. And it's like, it's because I'm not like sitting back watching. I'm more like focused. I have a center of focus and I'm moving around my focus. Like here's what it is. I'm not focused on what I'm looking at and doing. I'm focused on something else and like I'm moving around the focus. I don't know. I just maybe just try that inside your mind and then maybe see if it helps you with with visualization. But anyway, doing that help like is now it's easier. Like for example, if I try to motherfucking like make let's say a fucking what's some let's say try to make a fucking gym, right? I could just like focus and then like see a gym form around me, right? But if I try to motherfucking like build the gym, that's weird. Like I just have to focus on like this centerpiece and then the gym could form around me. I could literally see it all around myself. But when I'm like trying to like step back, it's like I'm outside the gym. I just see a building and it's like I try to go inside the gym and it's the only way I could stay inside the gym is by having this focal point centered, and then it's like it just forms around me. Like things have to kind of form around me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like even doing that, it feels like I'm inside the image more, and that makes more of the space to eventually. Because I didn't even talk about the fucking time yet, but it's like literally think about that. Like if I'm like feeling it form around me, it's like I'm literally in the space. Like I'm not like outside the space trying to make the space. I'm literally in the space having the space form around me, and that's what it is. Like I'm not being outside the shit trying to craft the fucking space. I just like get inside of a space, and it kind of just forms around me and stuff like that, right? So it's like the more it forms around you and you solidify that, it becomes a more solid. It becomes a more solid. It becomes a more solidified astral image, right? At that point, you start making the space. Now it's time for the time, with the emotional aspect, and then having it move through the ethers. When you start feeling, right, when you could actually like see the gym and feel like, oh yeah, I'm about to work the fuck out, you start making a certain motion inside that space. Emotion, energy, and motion. Motion is time. Time is movement inside the space. Without no movement, there's no time. So once you start moving inside the space, it becomes more like you start making the time inside the space. And you control the time inside that space with your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to make time speed up, right? Just feel happy and time speeds up. If you want time to slow down, feel like, oh yeah, nigga, shit is slow. And at this point, it's on some pituitary gland shit. Because the pituitary is what makes the different hormones that make the emotions. Nigga, understand that if you produce certain chemicals, your whole experience of life will be fucking changed. Don't believe me? Take some fucking shrooms, nigga. Imagine if you had control over all the fucking chemicals that you could fucking release, my nigga. You'll deadass control your perception of time. I mean, you even control your perception of space also, to be honest. And that's just facts, you know what I'm saying? But you could start dead ass manipulating your perception of time with your fucking pituitary gland on some fucking emotional shit. So when you see yourself doing shit inside the space, that's when you control how you want that space to manifest. And then the feeling of it's the most important part, because you could see yourself inside of a gym working out, right? But like if you don't actually I could see myself lifting 100 pounds, right? Like curling 100 on each arm, right? I could see myself doing that, right? Easy. But can I really feel that shit? The more I try to feel it, the more I can't fucking lift that bitch the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I might see that shit, but if I can't feel that shit, I'm gonna go to the gym and not be able to do that shit. Facts. So I can't curl 100s in each arm. You know what I'm saying? But something I have done in my mind's eye is I actually have worked out inside my mind. Like I'll see myself lifting heavier gradually, and it gets easier in real life because I'm training my muscles. I'm training my muscles to respond to a certain kind of energetic and emotional stimuli. So it's like, cause that deals with putting out more force. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it needs to be skinny as fuck, but still be strong as shit. Like you may not have big ass muscles, right? But you could still send the charge in a strong ass way where your arm fucking lifts that bitch. So I can't just go from straight to fucking like 45 to 100. But I could do like my gradual 45, then up to the 50, then up to the 60. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, right? The more you can actually feel it, that's what controls the space. So you could see yourself with all your desires, right? You could see yourself being rich with the perfect man or woman, and the perfect car and the perfect family. But do you actually feel that shit? Because once you could see it and then feel it, you literally manifest that shit. Cause once nigga, if you feel rich as fuck and like you got a big ass family, you're gonna act like a rich nigga with a family. Like it's really simple shit. Think, feel, and act. It's really simple shit. But it's like you gotta understand like some. You see how like there's bigger implications, and I could actually make this shit a bit more deep to the point where it start losing motherfuckers. But it's like that'd be a whole PowerPoint or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it like simple but also deep. So meditate on this shit for real, because this is really controlling your time and space, my nigga. When you clearly see the space, and once again, if you don't have a high intelligence, if you don't really know that much shit, you can't really make as much imagery because you don't really know what the fuck to make. You have no information for it. A lot of people want to make like low, I hear people talk about certain. I hear people talk about certain shit they want to manifest. Then like I'll say my shit, they're like, damn, I never even thought about that. Not saying I'm smarter than you, cause in certain shit I'm not. Like that nigga motherfucker, he might be a fucking carpenter. I can't do carpentry. But with that spiritual shit, I know some more shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I'm smarter overall, but it's like in certain areas, I'll have a higher intelligence. So it's like when I talk to people, and it's like they mention that thing, and what they want to do inside that one thing, I'll say I want to do this. They're like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that shit. And it's like because they didn't have the information to think about that shit, they couldn't make the space for that shit. But because I gave it to them, now it's a possible space. And now because they have that space, they can start feeling inside that shit and doing shit inside that space and create the fucking time for that space. When you start making the emotion and stuff like that, it starts moving through the ethers type shit, and you actually make it happen right the fuck here. You see what I'm saying? But people don't always have the end goal inside their mind. I'm not gonna lie. And the thing is, when people have like when people want only one thing right now, that's not thinking way ahead, it kind of makes that thing inside their head the end goal. And it's like because you think that's the end goal, right? Like there's actually a quote that says that I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm about to paraphrase, right? Pretty much it says that you're gonna die once you complete the mission of life, right? If you only have one mission right now, right? You're like, if you only have one mission, your brain and your body, right, might literally try to deter you from that mission because if you complete that, there's not shit else to do, therefore you die. And if you want to still fucking live, your body thinks, oh, I gotta fucking make this a big ass goal that when I finally do achieve it, that's when I die, but I don't want to die yet, so I gotta motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, not achieve the goal type shit. Like you could sabotage yourself because you know that when you achieve that goal, there's nothing else to do type shit. But when you think about the greater fucking go at the end of everything, my nigga, it's like, bitch, I got a lot of shit to do. At least for me, it was like that. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of shit to do for my fucking end goal of staying with Source completely. You know what I'm saying? Because there's infinite shit. So I'm gonna just be going to Source, coming back out, going to Source, coming back out. Like the time I finally, by the time I fully get, because that's my true. This is what I want to manifest. Getting back to Source and never having to come out this bitch again. Like I'm not saying that I don't want to come out. But it's like, I only come out to help shit. Once I help everything, I had no reason to come the fuck out. That's the end goal for me. Some of y'all end goals is the family and stuff like that. But once you get the family, what's after that? You got to think even more long term. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to have the feelings of that long term shit. And then you're gonna get everything. You're gonna get everything that comes with that, and you're gonna get it way faster too. So it will have more direction inside your life, and it'll be a lot of shit. So that's a very simple lesson on controlling time and space that I learned from the Arcturians and stuff like that. It could get way deeper, but because like you can start doing shit literally inside the astral to make shit happen more here. Like I've done that before. You know what I'm saying? Like I've gone to the astral to see people who are looking for certain information, and it's like I'll talk to them in the astral about like, yo, I got this information over here type shit, and then out of nowhere, a new subscriber on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? A new follower on Instagram that I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? New Patreon viewer. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get deep, my nigga. That's just one aspect of what. That's just one aspect. That's like if you can't even match what the fuck I just said, fuck the other shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. I love you all. I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Oh shit, I thought I fucked some shit up. But peace out.